Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading Saturday afternoon here in South Africa. And I have the Murder of Crows tarot on the tarot table this afternoon. It's the only deck that wanted to come out and play today, interestingly. It's a very dark tarot deck, so be warned for those of you who are delicate and squeamish or easily horrified. But this is a dark subject, really. We're talking about revenge, Tom Bauer's book. We will be for the foreseeable future unless something even more startling happens in the royal world. And the topic that I'm looking at in this first reading today, 5-card reading using the Murder of Crows tarot, is the fate of Brand Sussex. How bad is revenge for Brand Sussex? Just a 5-card reading. I want to know how worried the Harkles are, what they're doing to shore up their brand, how they're going to be responding, whether people behind the scenes are walking away, pulling the plug, saying we want to distance ourselves from you because of this demolition job that Tom Bauer has done, and a card has just gone flying off, and I'm going to have to just to pause this and go and fetch the card. Right, I'm back. I had to crawl under the table and fish out the Lovers, which was in reverse. That's the card that went flying. And finally, I wanted to know how long-term, how this is going to go for the Sussexes. Is this going to affect their ability to sign more deals, make money? That's hitting them where it hurts, if it is. And that's the thing that they're all about, their billion-dollar brand that they were keen to further in America. One more shuffle. And so we're going to see, just in these 5 cards, what is going on with Brand Sussex. We know that the Queen stopped them from calling themselves Sussex Royal, and that did them quite a lot of damage. They do still use their titles at every possible opportunity, thinking that that is all they have really, and they're probably right. But is Brand Sussex going down the tubes now because of revenge? I have managed to knock the camera in going under the table, so sorry about that. Just try and straighten things up a little bit and see what we have with the Murder of Crows tarot. What do we have? Oh, and we get a terrible card as the underlying energy. And as I say, I did warn you, look away if you're squeamish. It's a very ugly card, this 10 of Swords. Crows plucking out the innards of this poor unfortunate corpse. Finished, dead on the floor, done. Is the 10 of Swords. You hit rock bottom, absolute rock bottom, you're ruined. It's a backstabbing card, usually somebody lying face down dead with 10 swords stabbed into their back. So a lot of betrayal, a lot of wounding, a lot of harm done. Reputational harm. Of course, the card is in the reverse. You could read it to say trying to recover from the harm, but it could also be that it's harm that cannot be recovered from. We'll wait and see what the rest of the cards tell us. This is the underlying energy. It's a very graphic and gruesome card. 10 of Swords. Toast, finished, done, rock bottom. They have felt every sword as it's gone in, believe me. They may have put brazen smiles on their faces in New York on Monday when they were there at the United Nations, but this is hurting. This is really hurting. So their state of mind at the moment in viewing things from their brand. And are we at the 5 of Swords? We've got some ugly cards coming out, hence the Murder of Crows tarot, I gather. That's why nobody else wanted to come out and play. 5 of Swords is conflict, mental torment as well. It is inner conflict, inner turmoil, fighting with everybody. I would say that they're fighting with each other with that 5 of Swords card. It is a hollow victory card sometimes, depending on the circumstances the card lands in. We're talking now about their brand and what's going on. There is a lot of fighting, there's a lot of conflict, a lot of blame, a lot of accusations, a lot of finger pointing, I would say between the two of them and also with their advisors. This is what is going on. This is the state that they're in, the state of mind that they are in. For some reason, I wrote that down. I always write down my questions before I start these readings. The state of mind was the question that I put here. Normally, it's just to tell me about the situation overall, but I very specifically wanted to know state of mind and turmoil, absolute turmoil, a lot of conflict. Should they stay? Should they go? Should they divorce? Should they flight on? All of that. That is all up for debate. In my opinion, let's point you to the disclaimer. Tarot reading, my opinion, for entertainment purposes. The usual drill, you know it well. And let's see, how worried are they? This tells me that they are extremely worried, but how worried are they right now? This is the Three of Wands. This is a waiting game, the Three of Wands, when normally, typically, you would read it as a waiting card. Sending things out into the world and waiting to see what comes back. Waiting with positive expectations being the card is in the upright. So it's telling me that they are still expecting that the deals that they have are going to go forward and are going to bring back results. They don't think that it's going to upset deals that they currently have, because the Three of Wands, you've already launched the ships, you've already sent them out, and you're waiting for them to come back, waiting to see what they bring back. From now, they are pretty confident of the deals that they have on the table, the ones that they've already signed, the ones they're busy with. They don't think that those are going to fall by the wayside. This, of course, sits underneath everything, this very ugly card, this Ten of Swords. Hoping, I would say, because the card is in reverse, hoping that they can salvage something from the wreckage. Waiting game. They're playing a waiting game. How are they going to respond? How are they preparing to fight back for their brand? And again, we get conflict. We get another five. We get the Five of Wands this time. This is the infighting card, the competition, very aggressive competition. They are going to be, I would say, very aggressive at some stage in clapping back. But they're waiting. They're waiting to see exactly what they need to do, how they need to respond, where the damage actually is. The Five of Wands is fighting, it's infighting, it's competing, it's dog eats dog. You can see how the crows are fighting with each other, feathers are flying. It's a very destructive card when it is in the reverse, because you fight the people who would be there to support you. So it is really biting the hand that feeds them. I'm seeing a lot of internal conflict within their teams. I think they might not even have the energy to take the fight out and aim it, direct it outward at other sources of problem. This to me tells me that they are going to be just about consumed with their own blame game, pointing fingers at each other and members of their team advisors. We know that Meghan from the very beginning, according to Tom Bauer, had her US advisors on side, and they were all encouraging her to leave. And Harry also, I'm going to read on Harry and whether he went willingly or whether he was pushed. But there's a lot of blame being handed around in this card. And it doesn't look to me like litigation. It doesn't look to me like coming out with anything positive to try and reinvent themselves anytime soon as a brand that anybody would want to be associated with. This is blame game. Have people left behind the scenes? This is hidden energy. What's going on? And we get the Fool. I just need to have a little cough, and I'm back after my little cough. And we get the Fool, and the Fool is setting off on a new journey, on an exciting new journey, a bit of a reckless journey perhaps, not thinking things through perhaps. There isn't a sense of leaving in the Fool, because it's people walking away from a situation and saying, well, there's something better, the grass is greener somewhere else, and I'm going to set off and find it. So in context of this reading, I do get the idea that people are leaving. They are leaving, they are saying there's better options elsewhere. We can do better somewhere else. I get the idea that it's members of their team leaving more than people that they have deals with. It's a major arcana. It's the very first card of the major arcana, and it's the beginning of a new cycle. And I do get the feeling that because there's so much blame going on and so much conflict going on within their actual team, that there are people who are walking away, who are saying, I'm off, I've got better offer over there, thank you very much. Even if I don't have a better offer over there, I'm still going to go, I'm going to take my chances and leave. It's coming to me with energy of other cards, and that's why I'm reading it like this. For those of you who are studying tarot and you're thinking, what's she on about? There is there is energy of death in this Fool, very obviously, if you look at this character. And death is endings and change, radical change. And the Hermit, also in this card. Don't normally read those energies into the Fool. Don't normally at all, but just because of the way the card is drawn, the way it is depicted, I am picking up that energy, and I think I'm meant to pick up that energy. I think that is why I have been told basically to use this Murder of Crows Tarot for this reading. Hermit is of course the Harry card, the Prince Harry card, the Virgo, leaving, going into solitude, withdrawing from a situation. Death card, of course, is a Scorpio energy, is leaving, changing, ending, radically ending a situation that is finished and over. And of course, overlaying it all is the Fool. So it's quite a sinister card. We are using a dark tarot deck, and that's why all this other energy has bled through into this card. So my sense is not so much that Netflix and Spotify and the rest of them are leaving. It's more members of teams are leaving, and even possibly Prince Harry is thinking about leaving. No surprise, did a reading on him yesterday. I think it was yesterday, I've lost track now. And he does seem to be considering his options, and does seem like he will end up back in the UK at some point. So ultimately, what effect is Tom Bower's book going to have on the Sussexes and their brand, their ability to make deals, earn tons of money? What effect is it going to have? And we get the Sun in reverse. The Sun in reverse is going to have a devastating effect. Tess is trying to come in. She's got to get past the dog who is guarding the door. If you can hear a little sort of moaning in the background, that's Tess. That is the Sun card. It's a very spooky Sun card in this tarot, really. You wouldn't think it was the Sun. And when I've been learning this deck, I've had to check myself with this card and think, really? Is that really the Sun? It looks so miserable, it looks so gloomy, but it is the Sun, and it's the Sun in reverse. And the Sun in reverse is depression, being overshadowed, losing your gloss, losing your shine, losing your power, losing your joy, your influence. This is going to have a devastating effect on Brand Sussex. Absolutely. 10 of Swords, Sun in reverse, 5 of Swords, 5 of Wands. I've got some very, very difficult cards out here. If I was an advisor to Harry and Meghan, it would be scratch it all out, and you will have to start over. You will have to start over completely with that Fool card. That is the only way forward for you. Start fresh, start from the very beginning. But even if they do, it is not going to go well for them. According to this tarot, it is going to go very, very badly. They have lost whatever power, whatever gloss, whatever light they had. And it's gone, and it's gone permanently and irretrievably. Tom Bower said he wanted to knock them off their perch because they were threatening the royal family. And my opinion from this reading, he has succeeded in knocking them right off. And it's over for Brand Sussex. That's the reading. I will see you, hopefully, on the next one.